Hello everyone. In today's class we are going to solve one sum on income from house property. And the sum is Dharma is the owner of following house properties and the details of which relating to the previous year 2019-20 are as follows. You are given information in the sum as the date of completion of construction of the house, municipal valuation, municipal tax due, standard rent, repairs and other expenses, insurance, pre-construction period interest and interest on loan for the previous year 2019-20. And you are asked to calculate income from house property for the assessment year 2021. In the sum, both the house properties are self-occupied property. So we want to solve the sum twice, that is, once you will consider house property self-occupied and in second solution you will consider both the house properties as deemed to be let out property. And finally we have to come to conclusion which house has to be treated as self-occupied property and which one as deemed to be let out property. So let us begin with the solution. First solution will be considering both the house properties as self-occupied property. Therefore, A is self-occupied property. When we consider both houses are, if both houses are self-occupied property. When you treat house property as self-occupied, then always you should take annual value as nil. Annual value of house property is to be taken as nil. From the annual value, now we should make the deductions. Less deduction under section 24. The first deduction is 30% on annual value. When the annual value of the house property is nil, 30% deduction on the nil amount is also 0, that is nil. Second one, 1/5 of pre-construction period interest. 1/5 of pre-construction period interest. So pre-construction period interest for house 1 is 12,000. 1/5 of 12,000 is 2,400. And pre-construction period interest for house 2 is 18,000, and you should calculate 1/5 of 18,000, that comes to 3,600. And third deduction is interest of previous year. What is the interest of previous year? It is interest on loan for the previous year 2019-20. For house 1 it is 6,000, house 2 it is 7,000. Therefore 6,000 for house 1 and 7,000 for house 2. Now next one is we get loss from house property. Loss our answer is loss from house property. Let me just arrange this page. So the loss from house property 1 is, show the loss in the bracket. Bracket indicates a negative figure, that is minus figure. Loss from house property 1 is 8,400 and loss from house property 2 is 10,600. So when you treat both the houses are self-occupied property, you should take annual value nil. From the annual value you should make deductions, standard 30%, next 1/5 of pre-construction period interest, then interest of previous year. You get a loss from house property for 1 8,400, house property 2 loss is 10,600. Now we have to solve some assuming that both the houses are deemed to be let out property. So if both houses are DLOP, deemed to be let out properties, in that case we have to follow the steps. First we take municipal value. What is the municipal value given in the sum? It is 36,000 and 45,000. 36,000 for house property 1 and 45,000 for house property 2. This municipal value is now compared with the fair rent. Fair rent for house property 1 is, just pay attention, fair rent is not given in the sum. When fair rent is not given in the sum, we have to skip first step. You are given municipal valuation and directly you are given standard rent. So when you are given municipal value and standard rent, when fair value is not given, directly skip first step and jump to the second one, that is, we shouldn't take this fair rent, but we should take standard rent. Whenever you compare any value with the standard rent, you have to take whichever is lesser. And the standard rent for house property 1 is 35,000, house property 2, the standard rent is 47,000. Now municipal value or standard rent, whichever is less. So this itself becomes our step 1, that is municipal value or standard rent, whichever is less. Here 35,000 is lesser amount and for house 2 45,000. Now this value itself is known as gross annual value because you are not given any unrealized rent in the sum. Therefore this answer itself is gross annual value or expected rental value. Now we have to deduct the municipal taxes. less municipal taxes, but pay attention here, in the sum you are given municipal tax which is due, means which is not yet paid. When we are solving the sum, we have to deduct only municipal value which is paid and not which is due. Though you are given municipal taxes due 1,800 and 2,250, while solving the sum, we are not going to deduct any amount because they are due amounts and not paid amounts. Therefore, less municipal taxes due will not be considered. Therefore, it is taken as nil. Nil and nil. So whatever balance remains is known as what? Annual value. Therefore, annual value of the house property 1 is 35,000 minus nil. We get 35,000. 45,000 minus nil, we get 45,000 only. From the annual value, now we have to make the deductions. Deductions under section 24. Which is the first deduction? 30% standard deduction on annual value. Standard deduction 30% on annual value. The annual value is now 35,000. On 35,000 you get 30% as 10,500. You have to minus it. So we will show it in the bracket 10,500. And on 45,000 you have to calculate 30%, which comes to 13,500. Coming to next part. Once we are done with the standard deduction, next is 1/5 of pre-construction period interest. 1/5 of pre-construction period interest. This we have already solved in the previous option, that is when both the houses are treated as self-occupied property. 1/5 of 12,000, 1/5 of 18,000. So 1/5 of 12,000 we got here is 2,400 for house 1. As we are going to deduct it as deduction, we will show it in the bracket 2,400. And the deduction, that is 1/5 of pre-construction period interest for house 2 is 3,600. And third and final deduction is interest of previous year. Interest of previous year for house 1 it is 8,400. Sorry, house 1 it is 6,000. House 2 it is 7,000. Now when both the houses are treated as deemed to be let out property, we make the comparison of the steps. Then we find gross annual value. We deduct municipal taxes if they are paid by the owner. If they are due, we do not consider those values. Then we get the annual value. From annual value, we make the deduction under section 24. There are three. One is standard deduction of 30%, second is 1/5 of pre-construction period interest, and third is interest paid in the previous year. So 35,000 minus all these figures, we get income from house property. Here we get 35,000 minus 10,500 minus 2,400 minus 6,000, we get 16,100. This is a positive figure. And when we deduct 13,500, 3,600 and 7,000 from 45,000, we get a positive figure of 20,900. So these are known as income from house properties. Income from house property 1 is 16,100, income from house property 2 is 20,900. Now, the next and the last important step is to give conclusion to the solution. Here, when we consider both houses as self-occupied property, we get loss from house property 1 8,400 and loss from house property 2 10,600. And when we assume both houses are deemed to be let out property, we get income from house property 1 16,100 and from house property 2 we get an income of 20,900. Now, when you are giving conclusion, always you should think from the assessee's point of view. Whether assessee should opt house 1 as self-occupied property or house 2 as self-occupied property. Our answer is whichever income shows more. That is, in this solution, we get income from house property 2 more compared to 1. Therefore, whichever house property's income is more should be treated as self-occupied property, because the assessee need not pay tax on this property. Wherein the income of whichever house property is less should be taken as deemed to be let out property, because assessee will have to pay lesser interest on deemed to be let out property. Lesser tax on deemed to be let out property. Therefore, our conclusion is assessee should opt for house 2 as deemed to be let out property. Assessee should opt for house 2 as self-occupied property because it has the maximum amount of income compared to first one, and he should opt for house 1 as deemed to be let out property because it has the less income, wherein you need to pay less tax on the income of the house property. I hope you have understood this sum. First, you have to consider both the house properties as self-occupied property. When you consider it as self-occupied property, your annual values will be nil. From annual value, you will make the deduction. That is the reason you will get loss from house property. But in second situation, as you consider it as deemed to be let out property, you will have positive annual values, and from that you will make the deductions by which you will get income from house property. And at the end you have to conclude saying that the house property whichever gives you the highest income should be treated as self-occupied property, and the house property whichever gives you the lesser income should be treated as deemed to be let out property.